Hello, Reader Babes. Welcome. Oh, my hair just flew. Hello, Reader Babes. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for finding me. I'm extremely happy to have you here with me today because today I'm going to be talking about all my favourite books. I'm going to be talking about my 6-star reads. I rate books on a scale of 1 to 5 like everybody else. I'm going to quickly talk you through my rating system. 1 means it was absolute dog shit. Like, I hated that book. I was angry that I finished that book. That book left me insulted, offended. I'm not only angry with the author, but I'm angry with myself for continuing because I clearly saw signs that I should stop and I didn't. Next category is a 2-star read. A 2-star read means I just didn't like it. It just wasn't for me. We didn't really vibe. We're not really friends. I just didn't like it. It doesn't give the same anger as the 1-star, but we're not friends, okay? I'll never recommend that book to anybody. She's not that girl, no. The next category is a 3-star read. A 3-star read, I feel like 3-star is the hardest category, I'm not going to lie. I feel like sometimes it's like a good book, it was just poorly written. Sometimes it was not that great, but the writing was amazing. And like the storytelling was amazing. It just didn't sit that amazingly with me. I just didn't get it as much as I thought. So this one it varies a bit, but overall vibe it was okay. It was an okay book. It did what it needed to do. I'm not mad that I read it, but I'm not going to rave about it. That's basically a 3-star for me. 4-star, however, means I liked that book. I liked that book. I would recommend that book. That book is a cool vibe. She's adorable. Cool. And a 5-star means I absolutely loved her. I loved her. Mwah, chef's kiss, love her 5 stars. Now, there is another category. Yes, there is another category, and that is a 6-star read. And a 6-star read means it altered my body chemistry. Okay, a 6-star read means I don't think the way I thought before I read the book. Everything in my life is different now. I see the world in a new light. It changed me. It changed my personality. It is ingrained in my soul. When I was reading the book, I was kicking my feet. I was screaming. I was crying. I was throwing all of the emotions. That's what the 6-star read does to me, and they are very rare. So I have a new rule. I feel like 6-star reads are supposed to be rare. They're not supposed to be common because they're like so far above all the other books. So I'm only allowed to have 6-star reads forever, which means if I read another book tomorrow that's like the best book in the world, I have to demote one of my 6-star reads. That's the new rule. They get demoted to a 5-star or a 5.5 star. That's the new rule. Okay, I'm calling this the 6-star tag. Yeah, I'm calling this a 6-star tag, and I'll tag some of my favorite YouTubers below. Watch nobody join in, but I'm going to do this tag, which is the 6-star tag, which is your 6 favorite books of all time, because I don't think you should have 25 6-star reads. They should be 5 stars because 6 is supposed to be super special, so there's only 6 of them. Let's jump into it. 6-star number 1. This book, I think about this book all the time. I read this book ages ago. I'm still obsessed with her. I'm still obsessed. This book is a romance book, but it doesn't stop there, okay? It's romance, it's crime, it's plot, it's vengeance, it's everything. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, just trust me and listen to me. Okay, this book is the Mindf series. Okay, it's quite popular. This book follows a serial killer and an FBI agent, and he is the lead FBI agent on a case looking for a serial killer, and he does not know he is dating said serial killer. It is so entertaining. It is so gripping. And let me convince you here, right? This is actually 5 novellas. So they're all on Kindle Unlimited if you have Kindle Unlimited. So they're all 5 books. If you put them in your Goodreads, they're 5 books. You get 5 books for this. 5 books for this. All because you read this. So if you're trying to hit a reading goal, I've just sold you, haven't I? Yeah. So we're agreed. You're gonna read this book. This book is amazing. This book follows Logan. I hope I remember. Yep. This book follows Logan and Lana. Lana is honestly, I think I'm correct in saying, my favorite female character that I have read about. No one beats her. No one tops her. She's that girl. She's amazing. This book follows Logan and Lana. They meet in a coffee shop, and they hit it off from there. And the romance is amazing. And she's got this backstory. And I did say she was a serial killer. So you might be thinking, why is she your favourite female character of all time? That's a bit concerning. And I understand with no context. But when you learn her story, you're going to be on her side. And you're going to be like, you're not that crazy. Yeah. So read this book. I don't think I've done a great job of selling this book. But this book is everything. And every single novella ends on a cliffhanger, especially the first one. After the first one, I was like, thank God. Like, can you imagine having to wait for this to drop? Like, she wrote the first one, then it drops, second one drops. No, it ends. The first one ends on the biggest cliffhanger, and you get to read the second one straight away on Kindle Unlimited, or if you buy the physical one. So why would you not? Why would you not? It's so good. It's so entertaining. It's so gripping. The only thing I will say that it is quite heavy. They deal with deep stuff. Some deep stuff happens in this book. So my advice would be to please check your trigger warnings, and if you are comfortable, then stop denying yourself happiness. Stop denying yourself happiness. I literally was turning the pages and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then it's a bit of a mystery. That's not really a spoiler, but it's a bit of a mystery. So at the end I was like, oh my, like, this book had me screaming. Like, and at the time, this was the longest book I'd ever read. I think in total we're almost 700 pages. At the time, this was the longest book I'd ever read, and I read it in 2 days. And I feel like nowadays I could probably do that, like finish a 700-page book in 2 days. But at that time, when I read this, that was unheard of. Like, I did not read that much, but I could not put it down. Work who? Responsibilities who? I had to finish this bad boy, and I'm so happy I did. And I read this ages ago, and I still think about her all the time. Like, guys, if I haven't sold you, then write a comment and I'll try my best to type it to you, because it's so good and I love her so much. As soon as I finished this book before I decided 6 stars exists. But when I finished it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, is 5 enough? Like, is 5 enough? And that's why you have 6 stars, because it's not enough. This book is amazing. This book is amazing. And you're denying yourself. And I love you too much to let you keep on going without this. So read it. And then tell me that you read it. And you're welcome. Thank you. Bye. 6 star number 2. So I have gone on a journey recently. I did vlog it all. I don't think it's going to be up because I'm scared to edit it, because I filmed a lot of clips, to be honest with you. But I did decide to jump into the ACOTAR series. I read ACOTAR, the first one, and I gave it 2 stars. I was like, oh, you're all liars. I don't understand the hype. I don't get it. Like, it was... This is where the rating system gets a bit funny, because a 2 star means I didn't like it. And it's true, I didn't like it, but I was curious. Like, it wasn't like a 2 star where I was like, 2 stars, I'm never going to think about it again. It was a 2 star, I was like, I didn't really enjoy the story being told to me, but I feel like there's potential there. So I decided to continue on with the series, and I vlogged it all. Hopefully that vlog will come up soon and I get my act together, because I'm just lazy. I'm really lazy out here, but hopefully it will. Anyway, the second book is A Court of Mist and Fury, and how do you go from a 2 star to a 6 star? I don't know, but Miss Sarah J Maas did it. She did it. I read this book and I was like, and it wasn't even like halfway through the book, or like, it was immediate. I was like, yeah, now we're talking. Now we're getting plot. Now we're getting thickness. Now I'm enjoying myself. Yeah. It's a bit difficult. Unlike the Mindfuck series, I can like give you some more information because it's a standalone. 5 books, but standalone. Whereas this is the second book in the series, so there's not really much I can say. But if you read ACOTAR, the first one, and you were like, this one is better. I want to say this is a romantasy series, just like Mindfuck series is a romance series. But even though I was interested in the romance, I was. The plot was great. I really enjoyed the plot, as well as the romance. The romance was good. Spy scenes were awful, I can't lie, but you get past it. If you like it, you like it. No judgment. But for me, it wasn't for me. But even not liking that, I still really enjoyed this book. I feel like I've done a terrible job of explaining it, but especially in some of my earlier videos, I had some people comment, you should read the ACOTAR series. Thank you for wanting me to be happy. Thank you for wanting me to feel joy. I'm grateful to you. And to those who haven't read this series, I'm going to pass on the baton and say you should try it out. I read the first one, didn't like it, and if that's the same as you, maybe you should try the second one. I liked it. I read the third one, and I liked that too. And I think it should have been a trilogy. I'm sorry. I know that might not be a popular opinion. I'm halfway through the 5th one, and I am forcing myself to get through it. But this one was a 6 star. I think this is the best book in the series. Loved it. If you are not new to this channel, first of all, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate you. If you're not new to this channel, I apologize. All I can say is I'm sorry, because this next book, I have spoken about the book a lot. I know. But this is my favorite books video, so it's making an appearance. But if you've heard me rave about this, I don't judge you. You can skip. I don't judge you. But the next book is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I love this book with my whole heart. I wasn't even planning to purchase it. It ended up in my lap and I just decided, why not? Let's give it a go. Let's be different. This is a book but I was going to say it's a fantasy book. It's not. It's like magical realism. Like, it's set in like real world, everyday life, but there's a sprinkle of magic in the system. We meet our main character, Clementine. She works in the publishing industry. She works with authors. She's going through it because she's just lost her aunt, she was very close to her. They used to travel the world together. I think they've been to like 40 countries. And she basically moves into her aunt's old apartment. Her aunt has told her growing up, this apartment is magical, She was like, yeah, cool, great, love that. Children's stories, right? No, she wasn't lying. No, she wasn't. This apartment slips 7 years into the future or 7 years into the past. And one day after work, she walks home into her apartment. There's a sexy man standing there. And we follow the story from there. I always say this. I don't know why I love this book. I can't tell you that this was the best writing in the world. I can't tell you that this was the best romantic story in the world. I can't tell you any of that. I'm not selling this well, but I'm not going to lie to you. But I just resonated with it so much. It was like not super, super fast paced. It was like an actual realistic love story. It was getting to know someone, falling for them, loving their craft, them pushing you, them just wanting you to be you, not you to be somebody else in the future, and not wanting you to change how you are and loving you conditionally. Like, this is just, this man just lights up. His whole world lights up when she walks into the room just because she's her. She's unapologetic. No. This book is amazing. It's just so cute. It's so cute, and it just deals with life issues. And I think it's just where I am in life right now. I honestly think that's the reason why I resonate with this book so much. I think if I read this book 2 years ago, I don't think we'd be as connected as we are. Oh, this book is everything to me. I just love her so much. Adore her. Okay, now we are going to talk about my next book, and I need a pinky promise. Oh, this nail is broken. I need a pinky promise, okay, that there is going to be no judgment. You promised. Okay, thank you. Right. So in October last year, October 2023, I read Harry Potter book 1 for the first time. I'd never read the book and I'd never watched the movies, and I loved it. I loved the book. Then I watched the movie. I loved the movie, and then I decided, let me commit, and I read them all 7 books. I read them all 8 movies. I watched them. I love it. I'm a Harry Potter girly. Okay, mwah, chef's kiss, right? Cool. So I broke my Harry Potter virginity. Then I was on the internet and I saw people saying Manacled, 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 Manacled. Okay, this was even before I was reading Harry Potter. And then I finished Harry Potter and I was like, what's Manacled? Apparently it is a Harry Potter fanfic. Don't judge. You said we pinky promised. Don't judge. Don't do that. Okay, we swore. Right. So it's a Harry Potter fanfic, and I was like, I've never read a fanfic in my life. Honestly, I haven't. So then I was like, okay, what's it about? And apparently it's based obviously in Harry Potter's world, and it's an alternate ending. It's as if the ending in Harry Potter didn't happen. It went a different way, and we're following that POV, and we're having a new romance with 2 characters who aren't together in the original stories. And that is Manacled. It's very heavy. I told you, it's heavy, heavy, heavy. Check those trigger warnings. If you thought I said check your trigger warnings on the Mindfuck series, you check your trigger warnings on Manacled. Okay, I told you. I then picked up Manacled. I picked it up. I decided, why not? I loved Harry Potter. Give me more. I decided to read it. I have not been the same since. I think about that book every single day. It lives rent-free in my mind. I'm not okay. I'm not well. I was not well reading it. I'm not well after. What? It is fantastic. It is fantastic. And if you know about Harry Potter, as in you've read all the books or you've watched all the movies, you don't need to read the books. As long as you've watched the movies, stop denying yourself. Stop putting yourself through things you don't. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Okay, I want the best for you. I want the best for you. That book, everything, the writing, the storytelling, the romance. I was getting heated. I've never had my skin feel so hot, okay? I was angry. I was so angry at how they were treating my girl in that book. I was so angry. I was so... That book owns me. That book owns me. I am that book's bitch. I'm the book's bitch. I am. That book follows 2 timelines. We meet in present day, and then we have flashbacks to the past. And when we were in present day, I was really forcing myself to get through the book, I'm not gonna lie. Then we get to the flashback scenes, and my head wasn't my head anymore. I sound dramatic, But if you've read Manacled, you understand. And if you haven't read Manacled, stop putting yourself through this and just bond with me. But you said you wouldn't judge. So if you're judging me right now, stop. You promised. This book is about Hermione. That's the character. That's the main character in this book, Hermione Granger. And she's working for the Order of the Phoenix. If you don't know about Harry Potter, I'm sorry, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. She's working for the Order of the Phoenix and she has a mission to complete, and we're following her story. Yeah, the book is amazing. The book is amazing. It is amazing. It is fat. It is really long. And I'll put a screenshot if I can find it. But I actually, when I was like outside, like either running or driving, I would listen to it on audiobook, but it's on Spotify, and not as an audiobook. It's on Spotify as a podcast. So it's free to listen to if you have Spotify. And I'm sure other platforms too, but you can swap between listening to it and reading it. So I recommend that. I'll put the specific one that I listen to somewhere here. Yeah, recommend. Check it out. It's fantastic. Okay, Future Me is here. I did lose some footage, so I hope you don't mind. I am cheating a little bit, but my next 6-star read is actually 2 books, but they're in the same series, so I'm just going to ask you to pretend that they're one book, and it is the Magnolia Parks series. That is the series, and it's the 4th and 5th book. And I'm not going to lie to you, I am very, very shocked that these books are... I have 2 6-star reads from this series, because I picked up book 1 of the series and I was like, you don't like it. I picked up book 2, I was like, you don't like it. Book 3 was fantastic, 5 stars. Book 4 and 5, 6-star reads. I don't know how we went from the beginning of this series to now, but this series is my favorite series. This series has me in a chokehold. 2 6-star reads. I cannot believe it. I did not like the first 2, so if you've read the first 2 and you weren't feeling it, please continue. Continue. That's all I can say. I'm usually the type of person, like, if you can't hook me on the first book, then I'm going to give up. Not this time, because it's you that's missing out. It's you that's denying yourself. So not this time. This time we commit. We can do this together. Let's go, gang. Let's go. Okay. The Magnolia Parks series, if you're not aware, I think I'm going to do a video on it because I just chat too much about the series. But they're these guys, they're in their early 20s and they are very, very wealthy. Kind of wealth that you can't even comprehend, and we're following their day-to-day lives, and their day-to-day lives are filled with drama, pretty much. I'm not going to tell you that there's a quest that they have to find or this and that. It's not plots driven, it is just vibes driven. We're just following these people on their day-to-days and we're just learning what's going on in their minds. That's basically it. It's as simple as that, really and truly. It's just the writing that turns your whole world around. It's just the relationships between these characters that turns your whole life around and gets you so invested. And for me, the number one thing in this series is the growth we go from the first book to the last book. It's just absolute. Are these the same people? The first book is about Magnolia Parks. She's our main girl. She's that girl, and she's in a relationship with BJ. And the second book is about Daisy, and she's in a relationship with Christian. So 2 completely different people, same world, same friendship group-ish, and same timelines. 2 different characters. And then the third book is about Magnolia again, and the 4th book is about Daisy again. So that's where we are right now. Daisy Hates a Great Undoing. That's the 4th book. So this is the second Daisy book. So we've met Daisy already, we've met her brother, and we've met her love interest, and they're all annoying. They're all annoying. Whereas in this book, we dive deeper into the story. This is a bit of an awkward one because I can't really tell you that much that's going on because this is book 4 in the series. But we dive into their story, and in this one reason I absolutely am obsessed with this one is this is book 4. This is in the exact same timeline as book 3. And in book 3, we're hearing things from Magnolia's point of view, from BJ's point of view. We're understanding what's going on. And then we hear it from these characters' point of view. And the way that these people saw the situations or viewed the situations, their angles on it is completely different. And it will have your mind spinning. And you're like, what? Like, that's what you thought when she thought of this? Like, wow. Like, it's so good. It's everything. It's amazing. I finished this book and I was like, oh my gosh, my heart hurts. My heart hurts. This book, or this series I should say, was so well crafted. Like, you were thinking this when this was going on. Like, from the other book, I had no idea. Like, amazing. Book 4, amazing. Book 5, we're back in Magnolia and BJ's point of view. Look how fat this book is. She's heavy too. But book 5 was about Magnolia, which means book 3 was about Magnolia. In the end of book 3, we don't leave at, I'm not happy. Let me just say that. I'm not happy at the end of book 3. We dive into it more in book 5. This book had me crying on the train. Okay, I'm outside, I'm in public, I am crying, tears are falling from my eyes to the book. I'm being so serious. I'm not being dramatic. I swear to you, this book broke me into a million pieces. And like, I think like 3 times throughout the book, I just wept. I wept, and I just felt so sad. I know I'm telling you that this is one of my favorite books, but it just broke my heart. Like, it just pulled emotions that I had no intention of bringing to the surface out. And oh my gosh, it just deals, I don't want to say what it deals with, because I want you to go into it knowing nothing and feeling everything genuinely, but it just deals with a lot. And it was heavy, and it was amazing, and it was beautiful. And apart from that side of things, the things that made me cry, these characters in the first book, I'm going to be real with you, Magnolia and BJ, that's why I didn't like book 1. They were both annoying. They both did dumb things, especially BJ. They both did dumb things, and I just wasn't a fan of either of them. But in this book, the way when situations come about, if that happened in the first book, they would have been at each other. But now they talk about it, they deal with it. Like, they're so much more mature. Like, it's like watching your kids grow up, like, even though we're the same age. But you know what I mean? Like, that's one thing that I do have to give a series. Like, I've always loved standalones, but you do have to give it to a series. Like, you're going through the development. We're developing together. We are going through this together. Like, the character development was, oh my gosh, amazing. There's no star I can give it apart from 6. Like, it would just be illegal. It would just be illegal. Wow. And also, one thing about this book is I never change who I'm cheering for. I don't. Usually, there's a love interest that I'm rooting for, and things can happen. I'm still rooting for that love interest. Not anymore. This ended the way it should have ended. That's all I'm going to say. This ended the way it should have ended. I wasn't sold after book 4, but I'm sold now. You follow... Throughout this series, this Magnolia Parks series, you follow a variety of different relationships, and those relationships are what those people needed at the time, but it just ends up being perfect. So perfect. I finished the book and I was like, what more could I have asked for? The ending was just beautiful. This is the last Magnolia Parks book, by the way. We're going to get more Daisy books, but this is the last Magnolia book, and I don't want there to be another one. Like, it wrapped up so beautifully. It wrapped up amazingly. Like, I'm not curious for more, because more could ruin the characters in my mind. I left on such a high. I thought we got the closure we needed, to be honest. This book is amazing. There's nothing I would change. I've seen people say 700 pages is too long. If it was 1,000 pages, I'd eat it up. I loved it. This book, the world to me, I loved it. Future me again, sorry. And finally, the last 6-star read, which is my most recent book of all the books that I've read. And this book, I read this book in one day, one sitting, and it is Carrie Soto is Back, by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I absolutely adored Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read all of her books that are out -1, so I've just got one left, and all of them have been a 4. Actually, all of them have been a 5-star, apart from one which has been a 4-star, but I just absolutely love her work. This book is basically about a very competitive tennis player. It's about a woman, and she was a tennis player, #1, the most Grand Slams in the world. Can't really remember the exact amount of Grand Slams she won, but whatever it was the record. Let's just say it was 18. And she's a bit older now, she's retired since, and she's at a tennis match, and she's just watched somebody meet her world record. So someone else has also had 18, if it's 18, Grand Slams. So she comes out of retirement to defend her title, and we are following it on from there. It is so good, so gripping. I literally read it in one day. It's so fast paced. She's so competitive. Is she the most likable character? Maybe not. Is she the most morally correct character? Not all the time, but I'm interested and I'm hooked, and this book was everything. And I had the best time reading it, and yeah, it's definitely a 6-star read. As soon as I finished it, I was like, yeah, 5 stars is just not enough. But yes, those are my 6-star reads, and I think they're a bit different. We've got a little bit of fantasy in there, some magical realism, we've got some serial killers, and we've got some rich kids. I think that's a well balanced 6 stars. So I don't know, sometimes I'm looking at my 6 stars and I'm like, is that my 6 stars? Like, it's such a random thing, but those are the books that made me, like, the reactions I had were like crazy. I want to scream about them from the rooftops, so I screamed about them to you. I'm sorry about that. I'm hopefully going to update this when things change, because as much as I love these books right now, I don't want these to always be my 6 stars. I want to read new books that give me these new emotions and new feelings. But yeah, that's my 6-star reads right now. But yes, if you have a booktube or are thinking about starting a booktube, please consider doing this 6-star tag video where you list 6-star books, but there can only be 6 of them. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed myself, and I will hopefully see you on the next video. Okay, bye.